If you ever try giving people advice, you know that there's often something very frustrating in the process. So someone's going to come to you and he says, I have a problem, I have an issue, and he shares with you the depth of his heart and the pain and suffering that he's going through. And you listen and you get it. And then you say, wow, I know the exact solution for your problem. And you spell it out. And it's so crystal clear. And it's so obvious that the person immediately reacts, yes, yes, that's it, yes, I got it, the light goes on, they're excited. And you think you solved the problem and you're excited. And a couple days pass by, and the problem which you seem to have solved disappears. Meaning the solution disappears. Somehow the problem persists and comes right back, and nothing changed. The question is not how to give solutions. The question is how to give solutions that the person can actually apply and that work. Why don't my solutions work? So when a person has a problem, that's called Mitzrayim. I'm in a constrained space. I'm enslaved. I feel down. That's Mitzrayim. The Jews were in Mitzrayim. And then one day, Hashem took them out of Mitzrayim. So now, problem solved. And there were 10 plagues. And now they got out. So the Torah says, Vahi b'shalach Paroi es ha'am. When Paroi sent away the people, they left the land of Mitzrayim, they left the problem, they got the solution. They should have gone direct to the land of Israel, to the land of Canaan. Torah says, V'loi nacham elikim derech eretz Plishtim. Hashem didn't lead them through the land of the Plishtim, geographically. To go from Egypt to the land of Israel, you go through the Gaza Strip area, that's where the Plishtim lived, and then you end up in Eretz Yisrael direct. Hashem says, I cannot take them through the land of the Plishtim. The Baal Tanya explains this, that it's applicable to us. When a person has a problem and a constraint, a limitation, a Mitzrayim, he cannot go direct to the solution, to the land of Canaan. That's where the solution is. And the reason is because the way there is the land of the Plishtim. The word Plishtim, Philistines, means literally mefulash, open. Like a mavoi mefulash. So the problem is that it goes in and goes out. It's open. If I give you a solution when you have a problem, it's going to go in and out. You'll get it. You'll think you can apply it, but then it goes right out. So Hashem says, when we take a person out of a problem, we cannot lead him through the land of the Plishtim and have it go in and out. And the reason is, Ki karoivhu, it's too close, it's too easy. Ki amar elikim, because Hashem says, Pen yinachem ha'am b'rois ha'milchama v'shava mitzrayim. The moment they sense there's a war, they'll change their minds and go back. As soon as things get difficult, people go right back to the problem. What's the solution? Vayasev elikim esa'am derech hamidbar. Hashem says you got to go through the desert. When the Jews went through the desert, which ended up being 40 years, they let out all their frustrations. These were people who had been in Mitzrayim, in Egypt, for 210 years, in hard enslavement for 86 of those 210 years. You can't just take a slave out of Mitzrayim. So what had to happen was they had to go through the process of being in the midbar, in the desert. And slowly but surely, they let go of their pain. And every time they annoyed Hashem in the desert, what you were really seeing was these slaves getting the slavery out of them. And this is the key. If you want to help someone, you want to genuinely be able to help them escape their problem, don't give them the solution before you fully heard their problem And they might have to repeat it again and again and again. And you have to get to the point, they know and you know, that I understand, I feel your suffering, I feel your pain. Hashem gave Bnei Israel the solution, how to get out of Mitzrayim. But Bnei Israel themselves were still in Mitzrayim. Every time they let out their pain, they let out how annoyed they were, how disconnected they were, He listened to them and they rose up a step until finally, after 40 years, they were able to reach the land of Canaan. If you listen to a person and you empathize with them time and again, and you let them express their suffering, and you don't move to the next step until the person says, yes, that's exactly how I feel, and then you move to the next step, now they're going to go with you. Now you can offer solutions. Don't ever try to take a person from Mitzrayim straight to Canaan. Take them out of their problem, out of their Mitzrayim. Don't lead them to the land of the Plishtim. Slowly, slow process. Let the person express their pain. And that's the Midbar, that's the desert. And as they do so, over time, it's going to take 40 years, but they're going to get to the land of Israel. At least this way they'll arrive there. So it's very difficult sometimes to accept it. You've got to listen to the person and express and feel them. But when you do, ultimately your solution actually works. And that's the best advice. The people who give advice is to allow the other person to express themselves fully and get them. And then you can move on. And your advice will work.